PK52, the Saturday morning meeting. Well, special guest today, I've got my wife, Courtney Nix.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about something that's really kind of on our minds because we are people that challenge ourselves. Let me talk about challenges for a second. Most everybody watching this went through some kind of schooling. You went through high school, maybe you jumped and went to college, maybe you went past and got an upper education through college, maybe a master's. That's a big decision. Do I go to college? Do I get a graduate degree? So schooling becomes a big decision in your life. Then relationships. Whether it's a friend or whether it's a marriage, doesn't make any difference. It's a big step. That's another step in life that you have to make a big decision on. And then location. Where am I going to live? And then during my career in the car business, I've talked to people about relocating. I said, the market area you're in is not a great market area. There's not a lot of room for growth because the market is depressed at this point in time. That's happened all over the United States through the years that I've been in the car business. So simply moving to the next location gives you a bigger opportunity, but then all of a sudden, I don't have my grandmother, my cousins, my family, and then I just call this a place where we stop. And I don't know, everybody's got a place. I think you start out, you're pushing yourself, and then you get to a place where you're comfortable. I've got a job, I'm making an income, I'm paying my bills, maybe I got a new car, and I'm just comfortable. And I know that people are miserable spending 20 or 30 years of their life doing something, making money for somebody else, and doing something they really don't love. And so there comes a challenge. Maybe you work for your income, but there's got to be a challenge because a challenge is the fuel for us. So I want to tell you a little bit about my wife. So a little bit about Courtney's story. I met her, we married 34 years ago. In the package, I got a kid. 11 months later, I got 2 more kids. And then, a year and a half?
2 years.
2 years later, I got a 4th, all boys. And so we raised a family of 4 boys. While I was in the car business, she was raising the kids. I was trying to bring home the money. All I did was make things more and more dangerous every single weekend we came home.
True.
We've moved 23 times chasing the car business. So I've asked my wife to pick up, load up, and move 23 times. And, there's no fear. The boys did well. They've seen all parts of the United States. And I know for some people, just moving across town is a major ordeal. But if you're looking to go to that next level, if you're that person that says, where's my next opportunity? The next opportunity might not be where you live right now. It might be all the way across the United States. It might be in another country. You never know. So today's topic on PK52 is all about challenges. So recently, Courtney decided to ride motorcycles. Let me tell you how this played out. 2015, 2016, we're talking about buying a motorcycle dealership, and we were actively pursuing a Harley dealership. Mm-hmm. We flew out, we interviewed the owner, and I told Courtney, I said, you're going to need to learn how to ride a motorcycle. Did we not have this conversation?
We did.
Okay. And she told me, I have never ridden a motorcycle. And I said, I don't care if you ride a motorcycle. You've got to be able to take a motorcycle from point A to point B in the dealership. You've got to be proficient enough to ride the motorcycle. So I bought her a little starter motorcycle. And I'm going to go fast forward because I don't want to take all day. So from that, she has a couple of motorcycles. She rides different brands. And then she finds a lowered BMW 700 all the way in Sacramento, California. She gets on an airplane, flies. The people that have the motorcycle for sale pick her up. She buys the motorcycle in Sacramento, rides it down to Ontario, California, jumped on to the Run for the Wall, rode from Ontario, California, all the way to DC, then all the way back and met me in Nashville, all the way back to Dallas-Fort Worth, and turned right around and went to New Orleans and back, or to Louisiana and back. And so she was a very inexperienced rider at this time. So I guess I'd like to turn it over to you, because I've kind of hogged the microphone. So what was, from the intrepidation of even riding a motorcycle, when did you make a decision to go, cross country?
To be honest, I had seen that other people had done that, and I thought, wow, that'd be very exciting and something I've never done before. And if I don't just jump out and try it, I'll never get to do it.
Was there danger?
There was a lot of danger.
Was you concerned about the unknown?
Definitely concerned about the unknown.
Okay, so there was a choice at that point in time where you go, you know what, maybe I'll ride a motorcycle around with Casey and everything, but I didn't go. Okay, she went by herself with total strangers. Since that period of time, she's ridden Australia, she's ridden South Africa, she's ridden 2 countries in South America, and 2 provinces in Canada, and all over the United States. So you've taken a challenge, you pushed yourself to a place you never thought you'd go. Well, why?
I don't know. It was fun. Number one, it was fun. I don't know if I would have pushed myself as hard if I didn't think it was fun. But I like doing things that are different and doing things that are outside of the box.
Did you know you could do it?
No. Actually had some backup plans in case things didn't go correctly.
So would you agree with me that some people don't take that next step because maybe there's fear, maybe they don't think they can do it, maybe the unknown?
Absolutely.
So I'll tell you a little story because we don't want to be here all day because we could certainly do this for hours, okay? you think I can talk, you don't even know. But so we went on a motorcycle trip, and if you follow us on Facebook, on social media, you know that we went to Canada and came home. I did some work, and then we went right to Sturgis, and we rode dirt in South Dakota, and it was phenomenal. We're not in the herds of all the other motorcycles. We're back in ranch and farmland. It was gorgeous. So we decided to take, on the way home, a couple of days in Colorado. Of course, you know, the Rocky Mountains, that's no problem for a couple of novice motorcycle riders. And so Courtney's convinced me to do a dual sport now because she's on a BMW 750. Now it's factory lowered. Now my wife is not a skyscraper. She's about a little over 5'2".
I'm definitely vertically challenged.
And there's motorcycles that she can't ride because they don't make motorcycles for people that are under 5'5".
Like 95% of them.
There you go. And so she bought a lowered BMW. In order to get it down even lower, she put a lowering kit on there, which really made a difference on the highway, and she loved the way the bike handled, correct?
On the highway, yes, I love it.
So we got into Colorado. We rode a couple of dirt roads, manicured dirt roads, and they were good and they were challenging because there's a lot of elevation and deprivation, so up and down hills. And we ended up going up to the top of a mountain to 11,000 feet.
Yes, we did.
I had a sandwich packed in my box in the back, and we sat down with our feet over the cliff and ate a sandwich.
We did.
And we had 3 choices of which way we're going to go down.
We did, and I chose the Forest Service Road.
Forest Service Road. In my mind, that is a road that the Forest Service Department uses on a regular basis.
Yes, I think
To
so.
me, that is code name Groom. Okay, so we had a mechanical failure. So if you look at the picture right over here, to my right to your left, you can see some of the terrain. And I don't know how good the resolution's coming through the video right now, but because her bike had a lowered suspension, it wasn't that she couldn't ride it through this terrain, the bike wouldn't do it. So every time she'd go over a rock, she'd hit her skid plate, which would cause either the front or the rear wheel to come up and the bike to go down. And so what happened, if you could just, you have to pick your space. There's like a 4-inch area that you have to go through, and then you got to find another space, and then you got to find another space.
And just to let you know, let me see, where are we? On this side is a total drop off, just straight down. And on the other side is the mountain that goes almost straight up. So yeah, you only had, like the span of my arms was the width of this trail.
This groomed forest road.
Yeah, this Forest Service Road.
So what happened was we got to the point where the bike just wouldn't do it. And so we left the bike up on the mountain for the night.
Yeah, Casey said, we're not leaving the bike up here. We are going to have to camp up here with it. I said, I don't know about you, but it's cold and I am walking down.
So we got a little rain.
Got a little rain.
And then we got a little
sleet.
And then?
Snow.
Yes, right there. Now, some of the places in America right now are hot, but we got snowed on. So we came off the mountain, and the next day, planning during the night, looking at the trail in your mind, and looking at the rocks and everything, walked up the 1.8 miles vertically uphill in no oxygen. I don't know how people live in Colorado in the mountains because you can't breathe. But on the way up, moving rocks around, setting up little areas, you can see down the road with your eyes, this is the way I go, left or right, the whole almost 2 miles up the trail. And the end of the story is we got the bike off the trail. Listen, day one, that bike wasn't coming off. We were tired. We were out of breath. We'd been up there for 6 hours. We were stranded. Day two, it was a completely different thing.
Right. You were fresh.
Saw the trail different. Saw the obstacles different, and the bike came off the mountain. So let me say this. Let me finish up. I'm super proud of my wife. I know some of you know me, and I'm not going to go out watching Netflix and eating Cheetos. I'm going to challenge myself until I can't go anymore. That's the way I'm wired. I love challenging other people. I like to see other people exceed their challenges. It's amazing to me to see what some of you have done or what you're going to do. That's the most amazing thing.
Absolutely.
But there's always a day two. There's always a day two.
Yeah. So even if your plans don't go according to what you thought they should, you should come back and try again.
Too many people run into an obstacle and that's it. It just didn't work out. And that's just that. This is the United States of America. And you can do or be anything you want to be. Absolutely. But it's always easier on day two once you come back and you settle back, and then all of a sudden it becomes easy. I mean, go ahead.
And sometimes there's not a guarantee that day two was going to be successful.
Nope.
But if day two wasn't successful, then we would have had to come back for day three.
Right.
You keep at it and you keep going and you keep trying until you get to where you want to be.
It's funny. I think adulthood is the stumbling block. To finish up. So as a child, they throw you in a pool and you learn how to swim. I mean, you can't swim. And then now all of a sudden you got people winning gold medals in the Olympics. But the first day they got in the pool, they couldn't swim. When you were a child, you may not remember, but you couldn't walk. And then everybody missed the moment when you walked across the room because you got up and walked across the room. And so inherently in every one of you, there is a non-failure system. And I think that sometimes some people turn that off. And what I hope for everybody is you can live a day two and you can turn that on. This is an unbelievable opportunity. Challenge yourself. Meeting and exceeding challenges are what make people great. Courtney, you want to finish this up?
Sure. This has been PK52. Thank you for joining us.
The Saturday morning meeting. See you next week.